My stepdaughter has been taking photos of me while I sleep. 6 months ago, I married my husband, who we'll call Harry. Harry has a daughter from a previous marriage, 13F, Lily. I don't have kids. Lily and I have never gotten along. However, in the past few months, since we got married, things have gotten much worse. She used to just ignore me. Now, she's actively aggressive. I found paint on my favorite heels. She accidentally used one of my favorite t-shirts as a cleaning rag. She even spilled some sort of black ink in our bed during an art project or something like that, who knows. Harry's talked to her over and over again. But he hasn't really disciplined her. I keep telling him she needs to see the consequences of her actions, but he's too much of a softie to actually ground her, or take away her phone, etc. She's going through a tough time, he keeps telling me. Please, just let her be for a few months. I tried to ignore it. But then it got worse. Harry was on a 3-day business trip, so I was completely in charge of Lily. And she amped it up to 11. The very first morning, she came down the stairs wearing one of my necklaces. You can wear my jewelry, but need to ask me for permission first, I told her. I don't need to ask permission for anything, she replied, rolling her eyes. Yes, you do. For the next 3 days, your dad's gone, so you need to listen to me. No, I don't. You're not my mom. She shouted. Then she pulled at the necklace and snapped it right in two. I wanted to scream. But instead, I calmly confiscated her phone. Harry would be furious with me. But I'd had enough. When she got home from school, she ran into her room and locked the door, crying. I explained everything to Harry over the phone. I could hear the annoyance in his voice, but he agreed that she needed to learn, and it was okay to keep her phone for a few days. So I thought things were looking up. Then it happened. Later that night, after Lily went to bed, I wanted to take a picture of our cat. But I grabbed Lily's phone by mistake. And after I took the photo, when I went to the camera reel, I found a photo of myself sleeping. What the fuck? It was a dark, grainy photo. She hadn't used the flash. But I could still make out my face, clearly, smushed against the pillow. Eyes closed. I could make out Harry's silhouette in the background behind me, facing the other way, and my book on the nightstand. Before I could stop myself, I flipped to the next photo. And there was another one. Another one of me sleeping. Taken from a different angle. Taken from below. Like she'd been hiding under the bed. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. My thumb raced across the screen as I flipped back through the photos. There were dozens of them. Dozens of photos of me sleeping. One taken from inside our bathroom. Another taken from inside our fucking closet. I looked at the timestamp on them, they were all taken around 2 a.m. Over the course of weeks. I tried to call Harry 3 times. But his phone went right to voicemail. It was after midnight, and he had an early meeting tomorrow. He must have turned it off. Come on, I muttered, calling him a 4th time. Jen? I jumped about a foot in the air. Lily was standing behind me. In the semi-darkness. Her wavy hair hung halfway over her face. I backed away. What do you want? I asked, quickly ending the call. I want my phone back. Not tonight, I replied, my heart pounding. Maybe tomorrow. She shrugged. Okay. Then she went back upstairs and into her room. I flipped through the photos one more time. Why in the world would she take these photos? To intimidate me? To scare me? To help her plan of murdering me? Or there was a much more likely, much less sinister reason. She could have taken them to embarrass me. Maybe she planned to post them all over TikTok or Instagram. Me, sleeping with my mouth open, looking like shit. Really mean of her. But not psychopathic. Still, I locked my door that night anyway. After talking to Harry, I felt better. He thought the same thing, she was taking them to post them online or something, but he was now in total agreement with me. This has gotten out of hand. I'm gonna talk to her as soon as I get back. So that was a relief, at least. Can I have my phone back today? Lily asked, when I picked her up from school. If you're really, really nice, I'll give it back. Okay? I'd just lock the bedroom door at night. She couldn't take more photos of me. But later that night, I regretted my promise. Lily was a model kid. She thanked me for dinner. She washed her dishes. She even folded the towels sitting on the dryer. And while I didn't want to give the phone back, I wanted to reward her for being so good. So I gave it back. At 2:30 a.m. I woke with a start. As I sat up in the darkness, I realized what woke me up. A clicking, metallic noise. It was coming from the door. Just as I started to get out of bed, the door creaked open. And there was Lily, with a bobby pin in her hands. She'd picked the lock. "What are you doing?" I hissed. Her eyes went wide. Then she ran back down the hallway, towards her room. I jumped out of bed, running after her. "Hey! Hey!" I shouted. "Why are you taking pictures of me?" "Why?" She stopped. Then, slowly, she turned around. Dad didn't believe me. So I had to take the pictures. "Didn't believe you?" "About what?" She didn't say anything. Instead, she handed me her phone. She swiped to the first photo of me, taken in the darkness. Grainy and dark. She pointed to the ceiling. "Look." "At what?" "Turn the brightness up." I did, and then I gasped. There was something there. On the ceiling. Spindly long shapes crisscrossing each other. Even with the brightness turned way up, it was hard to make out, but there was definitely something there. She flipped to the next photo. And the next. My heart began to pound. It was like watching one of those old flipbook animations. In slow motion, with each swipe, the thing on the ceiling unfolded itself. And began reaching for the bed. I stared at the final photo. The one she'd just taken, minutes ago. Me sitting up in bed, my face twisted in anger and shock as I cried out for Lily. And behind me, long, spindly arms reaching for me. The phone fell out of my hands. Dad didn't believe me. When I showed him the pictures, he didn't see it. He yelled at me and said I was reading too many scary stories. So I've been showing them to my friends. We've been trying to figure out what it is, but we don't know. Lily and I are staying at a friend's place for the time being. We're not going back there. Not until we talk to Harry, not until we figure this out. Does anyone know what this could be? We've been searching nonstop and haven't found anything promising.